I wish to see to my ouch wound. I want to see to my owie.
For God's sake, you're a grown woman.
Back to normal in pasta. But really, where? Where?
It's Italian now. It's pasta
Noster. Pasta Nostero. Oh Lord. Hello, I am Abi Louise and I play Jenny Flint.
Hello, I'm Alia E Torrie and I play Madame Vestra.
Hello, I'm Ben O'Neill and I play Cooper.
Yay!
We did a full-length Paternoster one as well.
We did. This
without
is our
Strax,
first.
though.
This is our first actual, genuine Paternoster audio, but before Strax.
Yeah.
Oh, no potatoes.
No potatoes this time. But this is the thing. Like, it's like I want to do a Paternoster thing, but I want to do it before Strax joins, and then I had to come up with this other character. And
Yeah, because
hello, Mr. Cooper.
I think Strax brings a certain tone change, because a lot of people say, because the Paternoster are pretty controversial characters for a lot of people, and a lot of them go, oh, they're a bit silly, and I think Strax is that element. It works.
Yeah, he's the comic
without
relief.
Strax, you have the freedom to do a completely different tone.
That's right. He's the absolute comic relief in that, but with us, this is kind of more. I don't know. It's more Holmes and Watson style, and it's like Paternoster roll without the potato, but you've got the peelers.
Yeah.
If you get it. Terrible. Sorry.
And I'm out of breath the whole time.
Oh,
Cooper's not very fit.
No, he's me. I hate running.
Even if you're sat in a chair doing it.
That's worse.
We all know, we love how much, because I know Alia's a massive fan of a running scene as well. So
because I'm used to being the Eighth Doctor, and the Eighth Doctor does not run. Well, he does run. He just doesn't get out of breath from it. Because I usually have Abby there to make up for it. But with this, I actually had to sound like I'm out of breath. I haven't done any form of physical activity since about, I'd say, 2017.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
What's his physical activity?
I think we've all forgotten.
Yes.
I've got to watch the amount of air in this studio, because I feel when I do those scenes, it's running out.
We'll just be recording one day. We'll be recording before Vastra, and it'll go really quiet. Be like, Alia.
I don't know when Alia says studio, and I just think wardrobe, because that's where I'm sitting.
Mine's an old coal thing. It's like this, where they used to shove the coal in the house, because it's one of these 40s houses. And I'm like, you know what I could do with this? Concrete walls. I could block out the neighbours. Did it work? Did it?
Wait, we can't say that on TV.
No. Abby will find her own unique noise to block out swearing.
just pick one of the bloopers.
Fair one.
No, I really like this one.
How did you find? First off, Alia, this is actually the first time I've spoken to you about Vastra in general. Because Alia has been our Vastra since before Vastra 2.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because she wasn't in one. Believe it or not.
Before Vastra, no Vastra.
Yes, no Vastra before Vastra. So, hello, how are you finding Vastra?
Hello, I'm loving it, actually. I've really always wanted to play a character like her, because I love Sherlock Holmes. And she's quite a challenge, but she's brilliant. I hate, honestly, acting in my own accent. I feel really awkward. So I think she's really, really good. She's great to play. She's exciting. She's different, challenging, rewarding, and so much fun. And my God, she has a temper when it comes loose. It's brilliant. I love it.
Well, this is the good thing as well, because at the moment you're kind of playing younger Vastra, so you're ever so slightly that bit more feral, which is fun to play with, I must admit.
Yeah, it's always weird to me when I think, you remember that first Vastra scene where she says she's eaten Jack the Ripper?
Casually.
Yes, I love that.
Stringy but tasty all the
same.
same.
To me, it's just so odd, because it's brushed past so easily.
Jenny doesn't bat an eyelid. She's so used to it by now. How did you find this script? Because as we said, it is our first. It's not a light one for our first Paternoster, I must admit.
I think it's brilliant. It's got a lot of darkness, a lot of complexity, and I love that. It's deep rooted. The characters are very well rounded, and there's a wonderful chemistry between each of the characters, all very variant. I mean, I've read a lot of scripts, and when you look over characters and scripts, sometimes you can't tell who's talking. If they didn't have names, you wouldn't be able to make out. But with this one, everyone's very definite.
Yeah, everyone has sort of dialogue that's very them.
Yes.
And you know, I'm probably quite famous for it now. Where if I think the line could be different, I change it. I probably shouldn't. But
Sacrilege, sacrilege.
Yeah, there's those bits where I go, no, he doesn't say it's cold. He said it's Baltic. He's from Belfast. But I remember being like quite sort of taken aback when you went, I want you to do an Irish police officer, and I just went, okay, sure. But no, I really like this script because I think you've got the really, really uncomfortable dark stuff with Jenny and Zamet, and then you've got like a complete sort of it's not even necessarily a complete tonal shift, but it is definitely a complete dynamic shift.
Yes, that's the word, dynamics.
Of Vastra and Cooper, because Cooper's an idiot, and Vastra does not have the time for him.
He's a child.
This was my main focus on this script because obviously a lot of people like Strax, and I had to create another character that they would feel connected to, hence Cooper. So I tried to develop that relationship between Vastra and Cooper as quickly as I possibly could because I knew that she needed to take him under her wing.
And you can see it grow. You can see it grow. It's like, oh, who is this silly infernal boy? And then it just, it builds, and there is a relationship between the two of them, and then, they're eventually a team, and it's fantastic. It's
I do love the fact that Abby and Zach, who've been sort of planning out Cooper's story. How many more are we doing? 2 or 3 more?
There's 3. There's 3 in total. One's done, 2 more to go.
2 more. But Abby and Zach have taken full advantage of the fact that I don't read scripts in advance and haven't bothered to tell me what happens to him. Well, they've told me what happens to him. They haven't told me how. So
well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because like he's got Strax joins, and nobody ever mentions Cooper again.
Where does he go?
Where does Cooper go?
I love it when we do fan bodies and we have that
this
problem.
This is the thing as well, because up until now in my head, because obviously I've written this whole before Vastra, I pretty much know Jenny from birth, like, but I knew that introducing Cooper would affect the relationship between Jenny and Vastra, and you haven't seen it in this episode, but I will say this now: there is a little bit of jealousy. Because Vastra's obviously it's a different kind of relationship, but Jenny kind of sees it as time away from her. Yes. Does that make sense? Whereas you don't get that with Strax. It's just like Strax is just the potato one.
I think it's also that Vastra is sort of like the adult in the room because Jenny is not that old.
Yeah, she's only 18 at this point.
And now there's Cooper, so it's kind of that. Oh, you're also my age. I dislike you being here.
Yeah.
So I quite like in that last scene where Jen's like, "Oh, Cooper.
Oh, is he staying?
He's still here."
It's rivalry, pure rivalry.
You know that TikTok side of hi Francine. Oh hey DW.
Literally.
What are you doing in my house?
No, I very much like the way it shows it a lot in Before Vastra, and anybody who's watched this who hasn't listened to Before Vastra, please go listen to it because I put my heart and soul into that flipping series. It's very much a master and Padawan kind of scenario. Like Vastra's training Jenny, and as they're training and she's learning her sword skills and all this stuff, obviously their relationship kind of blossoms from that.
I love that because you've really built it. I didn't see how that started in the series. They never give you a chance to really see into their lives. They were just there. And you've given an entire background to that. You've given them a soul to begin with.
Because they did just kind of appear, didn't they, in Doctor Who?
Exactly.
Oh, here we go!
Yeah. A Good Man Goes to War is kind of a weird episode for that because every character in it just sort of appears.
Yeah.
and they're here now, and we just sort of have to deal with it. And we never really get to know who they are. And then the next time we meet them, it's
Snowman.
Yeah.
it's the snowmen, where they're again. They're just sort of here. We're not given a whole lot on them.
Well, this is the thing, because I'm one of these people that reads in between the lines, and obviously because I've been trying to develop our characters and Strax's character. In my head, they're not married in Good Man Goes to War. They're just together.
Yes.
Only because one of the first lines in Snowman is "We're married," like almost like she's showing off the fact that they're married now.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and but it's purely because I've been paying too much attention to them at the moment because of all this stuff. But let's say it is nice to try and give them more of an arc. Plus, I know Big Finish have done stuff with them. They have 4 box sets with Big Finish.
I don't care how many times you tell me, I'm not buying that box set.
But this is the thing, they're all set after Crimson Horror.
I always thought they'd be set after Deep Breath, because that's sort of like their last
No.
appearance.
Yeah, it's Deep Breath. Yeah, sorry, I stand corrected.
Deep Breath's their last appearance, isn't it?
Yeah. So they're all set. They're all set
again.
after Deep Breath, and then they just magically disappear. Which is why I was like, what about the stuff before then? Because how did they run this like gang with just the 2 of them? Meanwhile, Jenny's trying to flipping clean the house all the time and keep it clean, you know.
I think that's what you've given it, though. You've given it the backstory it's always needed. And you've allowed us to know the characters a bit better. And from an actor's point of view, reading your scripts, you've given us so much more to play with. If I was just going by a reference from what I've seen on television, I would see quite a strong lizard lady, right? With an English accent, and someone quite powerful. And it's not to say her writing was bad, there just wasn't enough to say, oh, she could get emotional sometimes, but not just angry. But the way you've written this is given us so much more to play with, and it's exciting,
2 more to come.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of it's quite nice because I don't normally act in my normal accent, and it probably sounds a bit more like I actually do, because what I sound like in behind the scenes is not quite how I sound. It's
most of the time with the TT stuff, Ben is our 8th Doctor, so this is a little bit different for Benjamin.
Or I'm just like, we need one person, anyone, to do this one part. I'll do it. And then
Man 1.
Yeah, man 1, man 7.
So yeah, like I said, we have 2 more coming in. Well, at the moment, at date of recording, we have 2 more planned, because I'm sure at some point we'll bring back. Let's bring back Cooper, like they did with Charlotte Pollard. But as it stands, we have 2 more coming out. So yes, more Cooper arc. So thank you for chatting for a bit, you 2.
No problem at all.
That was Alia E Torrie and Ben O'Neill, and myself, Abi Louise. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.